Alright, here we are, and it's finally Nungal's release day. Let's start with the pools, sadly only 54 this time around. Fingers crossed, and off we go. Oh, 3 off from a bingo. Damn it, that could have been a free time pool. Okay, another 600. We can do another 10 pool. We go up to 60. At least to see a legendary. Oh, cool, this counts too. This is still up. 170, fantastic. We get another 5 pools. I doubt I'll be able to hit 200, but there's always hope. Honest, a little bit of a dirty move from them to release her right besides Iron Meta. Come on with the upgrade. Come on with the upgrade. Nungal, Nungal, please, Nungal. Yes! My lovely little one. Dude, I've been getting so freaking lucky. Swear to God. Alright then, so Nungal 60, and this comes after an Iron Meta in 70. Finally, a little bit of luck after these horrible collab expenses. SP Faisal is likely going to be a skip, Parsival is definitely going to be a skip, and looking forward, we kind of need to take into account what happened with the collab, because these collab units are going to completely mess up the global meta. Lucamar I honestly like a lot, but Lucamar is also very similar to Ciri. Main difference is that she's going to go on and keep on buffing the mechanic for the other Element units. Pooch, not too sure. Same thing goes for Shams. Shams should still be a pretty decent single target damage dealer, but I don't know how much the game will be focused on single target damage going forward, because the entire collab is basically all AoE, and all the other units coming out in Element are basically all AoE. Clara might be interesting. I still don't have Pamina, I still don't have a proper character that deals in counterattacks. Selena, I'm afraid, falls into the same category as Lucamar. She shares a role with Ciri, so kind of on the low side. Yagane might be interesting because she has a summon, and I hear the black-haired builder is really strong. This is on skip, basically because he's a male unit, but I need to do a proper who to pull for the Element units and try and get my ideas and progression sorted out. But Shanazi comes right after, and Shanazi has black hole magic. I think she's going to be my main priority right after Lucamar when it comes to the entirety of Element, and this leaves me around 130 pools to spend for the other characters. If the average stays around the average, hell, I'm 10 points below the 75 average, I should be able to pick up at least 5 units, and still have enough points to be safe for Lucha. There's a couple of characters in Lucha that I really want too. If I get unlucky, however, Shanazi and Lukamar are going to be my two top priorities, and then we'll see. I think a possible third is going to be Yagane, but again, these are 3 hard PTs, which is something that's never happened in this gacha, at least since I started counting. Now, speed is 198, not that slow, that's fantastic. As for her trait, physical damage dealt treated as magic damage. At the start of the turn, magic defense down 2 on the closest enemy within 6 tiles for 2 turns and generates 1 Phantom Spear on an empty tile. 2-turn cooldown. After any character picks up the Phantom Spear, she triggers March of Oath, 50% heal, dispel, and 40% physical damage to 3 closest enemies within 3 tiles of the character. 2 stars gets 15% crit rate, 3 stars +1 movement, that's neat. Magic defense down goes to 3. At 3 stars, she also loses the effect cooldown for the spear generation. So 3 stars is when she's going to start being somewhat usable. At 4 stars, after picking the Phantom Spear, she gains potential burst for 2 turns, 20% attack, 40% defense. Lastly, 5 stars increases crit rate by 30%, another 15% growth from 4 stars. After picking up the Phantom Spear, she gains potential burst for 2 turns and reduces class cooldowns by 1 turn, up to 1 time per round. Sadly, the one thing that sucks is that I've never gotten base Nungal, so I don't have access to her SP skill. There's our rank 13 in 2 clicks. When attacking the enemy countered by the character roll, 10% increase in damage. Don't mind if I do. Okay, level 2 it is, 45% attack. This should probably also get maxed, but it's 10% more damage only against guarding units, so I don't know, doesn't seem that important. But again, it may depend on the enemy maps and bosses. Alrighty then. Break Fierce Lunge, instant 40% AoE damage to all enemies in a 1x5 area. Before attacking, shield break 4 for 1 turn. If the character is dying, ignores 40% defense and locks resolve. Then generates a Phantom Spear on an empty tile. Holy hell, is this good! A nice little finisher for 2nd or 3rd turn after characters have been taking damage. Otherwise, 100% AoE damage to all enemies within 1 tile, damage -2, magic defense -2, as well as the rally response. Locks onto the closest enemy within 3 tiles, trigger the skill once without consuming energy, can be triggered up to 2 times per round. Castalia number 1? Likely Castalia number 1. But let's go with the Swift Assault first, because it has the rally response. Battle Fever in sight. This kind of suck. I guess we go with Onslaught just because it has HP. There's a reaction skill, reduces damage taken by 10% when attacked by enemies within 1 tile and position at the front or side, triggers Preempt, can interrupt their turn, dealing 50% physical damage, and teleports to the closest Phantom Spear and picks it up. If no Phantom Spear exists, teleport to the closest ally within 2 to 6 tiles. Or 50% AoE damage reduction. I can see this potentially going to a 2nd Castalia, 50% AoE damage reduction, maybe against some particular bosses or some hard mode challenges. Doesn't seem like anything to overlook, but for normal play we go with Flares of Steel. Mobile Skirmisher, after attacking, can move again, inheriting the remaining movement. At the end of the turn, she can use Guerrilla, can be triggered up to 1 time per round. At the start of the turn, if there are fewer than 4 Phantom Spears in battle, generates 1 on a random empty tile within 2 tiles of the character. She also gains Rally Response, Speed 3? So she goes to around 350 speed as well. Cool. Move +1, on top of the extra 1 movement she gets at 3 stars from her trait, and attack 2, can be triggered up to 1 time per round. And this is just a rally response. As long as there's a command, she's buffed. Awesome! Really nice passive. Otherwise, Rally command, teleport to target location, 100% AoE damage to all enemies within 3 tiles, damage 2 and disarm for 1 turn. If this skill only hits 1 enemy, the skill multipliers increase to 160%. When teleporting, absorbs 1 Phantom Spear within 3 tiles and triggers the pickup effect. After attacking, the character gains Onslaught for 2 turns, reduces piercing damage taken by 30%, resolve and can block 1 fatal damage. So not only she has a skill to survive if she is overextended, she gets 2 with Piercing Will, cause she basically cannot die. What the hell? Or, well, blocks 1 instance of fatal damage. Someone like SP Samantha can still kill her. Yeah, I think this is a definite Castalia use here. Basic attack, active skill locked on injured target, or passive skill locked on injured targets. Honest, a little bit of a hard call. Even though silence is always nice, the game also has a lot of annoying passives. We also have to take into account how often we will be using the basic attack, and how often we will actually leave an enemy alive after she's done attacking. Let's go with silencing attack first. Then, if the situation demands it, we might go and pick up the passive skill lock. Lastly, frontline action increases speed by 50 when healthy, damage taken minus 20%, or before receiving a physical attack, melee attack turns to face the attacker and adds 20% of the character's physical attack to physical defense. Neither of these seem that important. Again, I don't think she's made for tanking. Maybe pick the frontline action just for the extra 50 speed, but starting at 250 is also not really going to put her before that many units. Okay, build-wise, we've got our Silence, we've got Ferrosteel, Sealing Bash gets unequipped, we've got our Swift Assault, and we've got the Piercing Wheel for our nice AoE. Either we keep the Mobile Skirmisher for the extra Phantom Spear, as well as Rally Response for the extra buffs, or we may replace Mobile Skirmisher with the instant skill that summons another spear, Fierce Lunge. Nice little instant, but also 3 turns cooldown. When it comes to gear, we finally get a spear unit after so long. My only other spear right now is on Gloria. We haven't gotten a cool spear unit since basically release. 5% physical attack for each target hit increases damage by 8% up to 24. Double-sided halberd, always good. Plus 1 tile movement, plus 15% crit rate if she moved no less than 3 tiles. This one might also be a thing, but sadly there's no extra crit rate in her very own kit. So she starts at 5% base, this would give her 20% crit rate, which is kind of pointless honestly. Or there's the Army Breaking Spear. I may not have Pamina, but I somehow got her weapon maxed out just from buying chests. 10% attack and crit, if the distance and teleport is no less than 5, 10% crit damage. Using a non-instant skill, resets the cooldown and refunds the energy on a 3-turn cooldown. So yeah, this refunds the energy cost for Piercing Wheel. I guess it's a bit of a no-brainer to go for this one. 10% attack and crit before attacking if the total distance of movement, charge and teleport is no less than 5, magic damage plus 25% until the start of the next turn. It's actually quite high. On the low side is 4% attack and crit, distance at 6, and only a 10% boost to damage. At low stars, it doesn't really seem that game-breaking. The next weapon box should be coming out after SP Faisal and contain the weapons for SP Meta, Nungal and Faisal, but for the time being, they can wait. When it comes to her trinket, I'm afraid all she really wants is more stats, so possibly another Origin Hourglass, attack, defense and crit if she's alone, and she can jump, so Maverick Cloak might be a good alternative. She transforms her physical damage into magic damage, Blood Luxite Amulet might not be that bad a call. As for her tarot, it's just going to be another Dream of the Magician. Or maybe for more crit, 50% more crit rate, she goes up to 75% crit rate and 55% crit damage, 65% crit damage. I need to test this out. With the buff, Okay, that was nice. That was really nice. Select a Phantom Spear to teleport to. She can run back. And she gets the extra action, second turn, with the skill cooldown reduced, thanks to both Espinanna and Pamina's Spear. And that is one turn, for 317,000 damage. 283 compared to 317. There's around 30,000 damage difference in a single turn. So no, she keeps the magician. Of course, she gets the extra turn. Last army break. Teleport doesn't work this close. Oh, hold on. She had... I guess this doesn't stack with the beret buff. Any Phantom Spear within 7 tiles to teleport to. Oh, that's yet another character that ends up wasting Inanna's extra turns. That's too bad. There's the Swift Assault. I don't know about these random things though. That 7-tile movement that far back feels a bit weird. Okay, now she comes back and gets it. And that's the hit. And yeah, sadly I'm still missing Momo. So the only unit that really gets buffed from Espinangal's magic defense down is Espinanna. I might have to take that beret down though. You should be able to stay 7 tiles from these. Go hit a few. Teleport back to it. For the extra turn. And there's our brick. There's our response. And it doesn't look like if she's given an extra turn, she summons anything else. Expert? I don't know when they added this one. I guess we can go try some expert mode for chapter 1. There's our lance, and there's our assault. And I like that she can proc the responses from down there. Now we got 2 wolves down here. But yeah, stuff doesn't die. At least not now. There's a resolve. There's Asia's resolve. But I guess we can always do something like this. There's this witch. And that's Nungal still alive. And another 2 kills. All the responses. Just Inanna giving Inanna an extra turn. She has an extra turn, she should be able to get some extra energy. Let's see if we can maybe try and push towards the caster. More reactions. They make such a mess. And yeah, damage-wise, look, they're both still 1 star. They're both going to take a fairly long time to come up. I freaking love this combo. And yeah, waiting 2 weeks between one character and the other was definitely worth it. They're so much fun together. Should be fine here. Hold on, what? The response reaches up here? 3 and 7, that's 4 tiles difference. Holy! You know, locks onto the closest enemy within 3 tiles of the character. And it looks like the height range and effect range is not the same as the rally response. This range is just for the swift assault. The response itself can actually go up 4. Now, she's nice and lovely, and I think she enables some pretty damn bold plays. She's fairly difficult to kill. She's got From Disarm. With the spear, Pamina's spear, she can cast this twice in consecutive turns basically. I love the movement, I love the extra attacks, and I was not expecting the rally response to be able to hit at 4 plus height. So you just send her off, and then you trigger as many rally commands as you possibly can with your other units. She does everything else herself. I can't wait until I get her at 3 stars. Alright then, I guess that's gonna be it for me for the moment. As always, good luck if you want to go and pull for her. Good luck saving for the next couple of banners and for the entire Elaman arc. And I guess I'll see you guys around soon. Ciao!